Bum ba bo ba bo bum ba bum bum ba Don't copyright me. What's going on, homies? Thank you so much for tuning into Yimpossible, a variety podcast. We do a lot of stuff around here. We talk sports. We talk music. It's all that. It's what I love to do. It's what I love to talk about. So ask me about it. I will absolutely talk about it. But that being said, we had a special guest on today. We had Emily Northup, also known as Emily N. She likes to go by for a lot of her socials. We talked about an album called Dark Sun by Dayseeker, who is an American post-hardcore band. They're from California, but it was an awesome conversation. It was awesome having her. We talked about this over on Twitch, and we actually filmed this episode on Twitch. And we also did a little bit of stuff afterwards. We did like some Twitch exclusive Fortnite playing over there. So if you want to head over there and see what's happening, and you want to absolutely get notified about when we go live for this podcast and everything, just make sure you go over to twitch.tv/eimpossible to make sure you get notified. And don't forget to, if you're new here, to follow, subscribe if you like what you hear and everything, so you don't miss an episode here. And on Twitch, we film these episodes and we get the audio onto Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever the podcast is available. So make sure that you go over. Remember, that's twitch.tv/eimpossible to head over there. We will shout you out in chat, and it'll be very, very interactive. And some might argue that's not great podcasting and everything, but I think it's interactive and whatnot, and it'll be fun. I'm very excited. I am hoping to reach Twitch affiliate at some point in time. I'm on my journey there. But we film our episodes there and we take our audio and put it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
So, without further ado, we are going to talk about Dark Sun by Dayseeker with Emily N. here on Yimpossible, a variety podcast.
Hey.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. What's up? Emily Ann's here. She's here. Say hi to the world, Emily Ann.
Hello.
Ooh. All right, cool. So we're going to talk about Dayseeker,
Hello.
Dark Sun. Good to have you folks here on Twitch and on the podcast end. But why don't, Emily, and you introduce your... It's my mother. Why don't you introduce yourself to the listeners? Tell everybody how we know each other.
My name's Emily, and I also stream on Twitch. But I met my homie here at the Bad Omens Tour of the Concrete Jungle, which best tour hands down I've ever seen. And Dayseeker was one of the bands that opened for Bad Omens. So
Yes, indeed. So
yes, it was very fun.
yeah, out of all the bands, I haven't checked out Make Them Suffer a whole lot yet. I probably should, but I haven't. I just straight up haven't. We'll get there. I was kind of like, I had some stank faces when it came to them. Like literally, I was like a few times. I had some stank in there. Like I just kind of was like, all right.
Yeah, they're a lot heavier.
I was there
than the
for-
other bands
yeah.
that were there.
I liked Thousand Below, but I was so mad because I couldn't get into like. And by the way, for all the listeners and viewers, like when we saw Bad Omens, I will say just for the record, they oversold that show so bad. It was horrendous. It was so bad. Like literally,
Dude, the Palladium was packed.
I've never seen a venue overpacked. Like if you can't even get through normal walkways. Like in a normal capacity, you should not be selling that many tickets. I don't know what they were doing.
I just want to put on the record that I was at the front, like in the middle, right at the barricade. So
Yeah, you were
didn't
fine.
have
Me,
that problem. I didn't have that problem. But
I
by the time Thousand Below came on, like I was right there. I was ready. I could see the pores on James' face. I was close, so
you
close.
saw
So
the pores. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was a good tour. Tour of the Concrete Jungle was a good one. That was like one of the tours that I was
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. So yeah, we met at Bad Omens. Weirdly enough, we're both from Maine, which is weird.
yeah.
That actually happened. But anyways,
And we do have mutual friends.
yes, that too. I don't even know.
Maine is so small.
World is so small. New England is so small. All of it. It's just small. Small.
Everything's small.
Everything is small. So one sentence I had to describe this album, Dark Sun by Dayseeker, I would describe it, for me personally, it's like you go lucid dreaming, and you ride your skateboard on neon rainbows, but you're like also crying at the same time. That's what this entire album is. It's like, cause like literally I put Dark Sun, like the title track, on my summer playlist before actually listening to the lyrics. Cause I like the vibe of it. It's a great driving song. And then I listened to the lyrics as I was like deep diving. And I went, oh no, this is sad. Oh no. I was like, should I put this on my summer playlist at this point? I don't know what to do. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
Oh my god.
When you said like one sentence to describe this band, I was like, it's like post-hardcore alternative girl meets, like, again, Trippy Rainbows. That was another thing I thought of.
Trippy
too.
Rainbows.
Like, trippy, like funky music, but also like straight crying in the club. Like without me, crying in the club is like, that's my motto for them. Like I always say that. I'm like, Rory's got us crying in the club, yo, because like Without Me, that song is so good. It's just like the drop to it.
I was about to say.
But it's like so sad. You listen to the lyrics and you're like,
the entire album's lyrics
God.
are just like, I'm gonna start crying. This is horrid. This is.
Yeah, but you're like bopping. So when he had the song "Crying While You're Dancing," I'm like, this is it. This is the
That's
album.
the one.
This one
That's
song is how you describe.
That's
so
right.
If I had to pick one thing to describe Dayseeker, it's "Crying While You're Dancing."
Yes, for sure.
We did. I was bawling during that show. My friend was doing security, and he's like, I remember you crying during Dayseeker, and I'm like, yes, that was me, because like the tears, I was like, this is so good but so sad.
Yeah.
It was so good though. It was so good.
Oh my gosh, it was.
It's
yeah,
fine.
It's
fine. The one time I'm not mad about crying, it was fine.
crying while you're dancing, if you will.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I was crying while I was dancing, squished up against the barricade.
I don't even know how you're supposed to dance. Hold on one second. I gotta get my dog out of here. Boston Terrier noises.
Quick, let's overtake his podcast.
We just had to take a short podcast break because my dog was like choking on life. my dog was literally like Boston Terriers make weird noises. They just do. I didn't know that because I've never had a Boston Terrier, so their face is like all squished. And so like when we first got our dog is like, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you good? That's just what they do. What's up, Kay? Good to see
Hi,
you.
Kaylee. Nerds, I wear that title proudly, just so you know.
And those on the podcast end, if you do want to see this podcast happening live and we shout you out, creating a Twitch account, follow Impossible so you can chat with us. We'll shout you out in chat. So
Heck yeah.
Just keep that in mind. If you're listening on the Spotify or Apple Podcast end, though, I appreciate it. So yeah, crying in the club. Pretty much, that's literally what Dayseeker is. This album specifically. a lot of the themes of the album, it's weird because the entire album is very much about his father dying. Um,
Yeah, I'm actually gonna get it up right now so I can look at.
yeah, so um, the entire
Or
album's
yeah,
basically his father dying. There's like romantic lyrics sprinkled in there, but it's like a lot of it's
yeah.
very
He did say like on Twitter about how many songs he I don't know, he made a tweet like about how many songs he's wrote about like his past like breakup,
hmm
and a couple of these were on there.
yeah.
I like crying while you're dancing and without me
Hmm.
are two obvious ones. I think those were on his list too.
Do you happen to know if his last breakup and the date of his father dying coincided? Do you happen to know?
I don't
I
follow
was
anyone's
almost
like that closely, to be honest. I know his didn't he say his father passed away at the beginning of this year, or like almost pretty much a year ago when at the Palladium show he said it was like a year or
I
something
think
like
so.
that.
That's a.
I
I'm annoyed
I
with
don't
that
remember.
because I was trying to listen to the like heartfelt thing that he was saying about Dayseeker or like about the album, and I couldn't hear him because people around me were talking. I was like, I literally am
Oh, I hate
trying to
that.
hear him talking about his dead dad, and you won't stop talking. Shut up.
Yeah. No, he I think he said he passed away um like almost a year ago now or something like that. I don't
Yeah.
remember. But yeah, it was really sweet that he dedicated it to him. He
Mm.
basically what he said, since you missed it, he said that these songs and this album meant a lot to him because he wrote it while he was grieving for his father.
Mm.
So some he said some of the songs like Parallel and Neon Grave were about that.
Yeah.
Um, and he said that his father was one of his biggest supporters in music, like was
Mm.
always cheering him along. And so when he lost him, it was really hard to keep going because their band has been kind of like up and down with music and stuff. And I noticed like they like Zach Mayfield's drumming for them now instead of their old drummer. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
haven't.
he just like quickly like kind of made a comment about you know how everything certain songs were dedicated to his father and stuff, and just wanted to thank everyone for being so supportive and in loving his music that he wrote while he was so heartbroken. So
Mm.
you know that's huge to like write something when you're so heartbroken and then have the world give such good feedback about it, you
Yeah.
know.
And it's yeah, he definitely poured a lot on this album. Um,
Definitely.
um, and what was it? Yeah, like romantic lyrics, sprinkled in, like "Without Me," romantic. "Crying While You're Dancing," romantic. But it's like in terms of thematics and like song content matter, it's like if they took, I think they take like three songs about dad's death, romantic song, three songs about dad's death, romantic song. They like sandwich it in between.
Well, and they have one for he has one for his daughter too on there.
Yes, I think that's the last track, right?
Yeah, it is. It's
Okay.
Afterglow.
I was wondering that. I didn't get a chance to research that, but so those are like the main themes. What are your tracks off this album? What are your favorite tracks off this album?
Um
Besides, like, I don't know, all of them.
okay, so I just made a playlist for someone,
hmm
and because he asked for my favorite songs and like was asking about Dayseeker, like and Thousand Below and stuff.
hmm
So the ones I put on there first were Without Me and Crying While You're Dancing. Those
Ah,
they're sad, but I don't know, something about them. Like I'm not even going through a heartbreak, like nothing even in that realm, but those songs are just maybe it's just my artist point of view, and like the music to them is just so beautiful to
mm,
me. I love those songs so much. I mean,
yeah.
the rest of it is great too. Like Neon Grave is really the lyrics on Neon Grave are really cool, but um like Crying While You're Dancing has like so much flow with the lyrics
For
that
sure, yeah.
I don't know, something about it. Even like when I'm in a happy mood, like I'll be dancing around my kitchen. It's one of my like warm up songs every day when I'm drinking coffee and like warming up my voice. Like that's on my list of like working my way up and singing. And I'm just like, I don't know. It's like sad lyrics, but it's also can be like happy. Like the music to it is very like just like
It's very sonically pleasing, yeah.
It is. It's very sonically pleasing.
Well, that's what's weird about
really
this whole album.
And I'm like, yeah, the whole album is really like that. But that's like my top song, honestly.
Okay.
And then Without Me is my second. Those two I listen to like every day.
Well,
I'll be honest with you, I listen to those every day.
I listen to Without Me. The reason that I kind of got more into Dayseeker was I like found out about the lineup, didn't really know. I heard the name Dayseeker a lot. I basically knew all the bands, but didn't like actually listen to any of them before. But I've heard them on podcasts like Shane Told from Silverstein does a podcast, and like they talk about like all those bands quite frequently. So I never listened.
Are they going on tour with Silverstein?
They are actually, yes.
That's gonna be awesome.
Which, oh my gosh, you poor. It almost makes me wonder how they do the turnaround. Like they have maybe like I don't know a month with their family, and then they got to go back out on tour.
Right back on the road.
Exhausting.
I mean, that's their life, though. That's what you choose to do.
It's true, yeah.
Like, half of them have already been on social media saying that they're bored. Like, they're ready to go back.
That's fair,
and they've only been home for a couple weeks.
And if you're used to that lifestyle, you're used to that lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I would have a hard time. Rory was talking about on his Instagram story, like, which is, would be cool to mention in this real quick, is that the toll it takes on your mental state. Like, like, and I totally get that because I always wondered too, because like being able to sing and like even performing live is like super fun. And so when you can't do something that you love and that you're just doing every day and you go home to just being completely stagnant, like it's if you already suffer from any type of like anxiety or depression, I can imagine that that's really hard to adjust to. And he made a post about it on his story like a couple weeks ago. I remember seeing that, how it takes a huge toll. He's like, people don't talk about what a toll that takes. And I was like, yeah, that actually makes like a lot of sense. So I hope he's like doing well with that. I mean, he's with his daughter too, so that's good.
I mean,
but if he's not with his daughter, I'm sure it's like really lonely. Like you're used to being surrounded by all your favorite people and doing what you love every single day, and then you just nothing.
That's why so many bands during the pandemic were just like, and artists just in general during the pandemic were like not coping, or they were coping, but it's like they literally, their entire income is them going on the road, selling merch, selling albums, selling like everything on tour, and then it all got cut off, and so it's just like, and what's even worse is that touring crews and everything like bank on that too. Like all the drum techs, all the guitar techs, everyone.
Right? Yeah. Anyone who does FOH, like the venues, all of it.
Mm-hmm. However, the venues have been making me a little mad lately. And Noah Sebastian from Bad Omens has like kind of gone on record to talk about that too.
Yeah, well, then you have Matt, who just like blatantly goes on Twitter and calls them out for their crap. So I love that. I'm team Matt Dierks.
Is Matt in Dayseeker? I don't remember.
No, he's he does like the audio and
Matt. Yes. Okay, yeah. I remember Matt. Yeah. Okay, that checks out. But yeah, no, there was a lot of problems when it came to touring. But it what was it? Oh,
starting with merch cuts.
Yeah, I know. Without Me, I listened to. This is what I was getting at. We went on like such a side tangent. But what I was getting at was I saw a TikTok of Dayseeker performing Without Me, and I was like, "This is good." So I like commented being like, "What song is this?" frantically, like trying to real quickly, and they were like, "Oh, it's like this Without Me by Dayseeker." So I like listened to that song before the album came out like 40 times, like just over and over and over again, because I just found it so sonically pleasing. And like the vocal work on this entire album is really good. It is. Um, it's a lot of like, it's not breathy, but it's very much like mixed voice. What's everyone's favorite Dayseeker? That's a good question. It's a very good question. And hopefully you type that. And if you don't know any Dayseeker songs, go check them out because there's some good ones on there. But Without Me, I listened to that over and over again. And the vocal work on here is really good. It's a lot of mixed voice singing, but it works for a lot of what he needs to do and what I think he was going for.
Yeah, I appreciate the vocal work, just being a vocalist and like knowing. So you have like, just like if you're a drummer, you're gonna have like extra appreciation for drum patterns.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a lot about drums, so I'm like, I can appreciate like some technical patterns, but I don't know like extra technicalities like I do vocals. So when I listen to them, like Noah of Bad Omens is one that stuck out to me
Mm-hmm.
a lot. His vocal techniques and his range. And then I started covering Rory's voice, and I actually dropped a cover today. And he goes so low to like so high, and he definitely goes from like chest to head voice, and
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like the range. I think that's what makes you a good vocalist. That's what a vocalist told me at one time too, like that's what's gonna make me, is you gotta be able to have that range and go back and forth and sing different ways, and use harmonies and don't use harmonies, and the parallels, what I covered. And that song is very raw. There's no backing vocals, there's no harmonizing,
Mm.
it's just him sing like pretty much raw, honestly. And it took a couple tries to record that.
Yeah,
So
for
I
sure.
have like a super strong appreciation for his voice after that.
Did you
Like
post that on your
it's
Insta?
different when you strip it down. I My band Insta. It's
Oh,
on
your
my
band Insta.
story. If you follow my Instagram, it's on my story. You can find the band. Yeah, I can add it in
Yes, for
the
sure. Add it
chat
in the
for
chat too. I
you.
think it's Midnight Sabotage. I don't know if that's the Instagram handle or not, but
Sabotage official on.
Midnight Sabotage just posted that cover, so go check that out. Small little shout out. Midnight Sabotage official on Instagram. So check
Yay!
that out when you get the chance to. But yeah, no. So
Yeah.
like, oh, what was it? Oh, my favorite part about this album too is that there were quite a few good like transitions in between songs. I love albums where I love albums that have like little tiny clips. Y'all listen to Dayseeker. Yes, Mythic, we do listen to Dayseeker every now and then. What was it? My favorite are when you have like tail ends of albums, or not albums, tail ends of songs transition to the next song, like on Midnight Eternal into Dark Sun. Like I didn't realize that the new song was happening until I looked at the track and it was like a new song already.
Yeah.
I think yeah, he does
He
that.
did that for the last two. He did it for Parallel into Afterglow too. There
Yeah,
really
that's what I was
isn't
about to
like a
say. He did
break.
that for
It
yeah.
flows like two totally different songs, but like flows right into it, which is insane to me
Mm,
because Parallel is very, very like stripped down and emotional and about losing his father. And then
mm.
it goes into like this really like happy, peaceful, like a little more up tempo song about his daughter. So it's like, it goes from it's like he creates a beautiful story, honestly.
Yeah,
This album really has so much to it if you break it down.
yeah. I've seen a lot about like this not being as it's kind of elitist to say, but not as quote unquote heavy as their last stuff, which it's not. Like it's granted, it's not Sleep Talk where there's more kind of harder instrumentation. I would say the heaviest song on this album is Neon Grave. That's the heaviest song, arguably. Um, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think they made the album that they wanted to make, even if it meant like stripping down their instrumentation a little bit more and going a little bit more electronic.
Rory's tweeted about that quite a few times too when it first came out, that like he knew people weren't going to like it because it's not heavy,
Mm.
and that's what people are used to hearing from them is a little more like in the metalcore and post-hardcore genre, and this one they're not as much.
Yeah.
And I can't remember because he posted it back when the album came out, and I don't remember what he said word for word, but yeah, he did mention that like they made the music like they made. Like that's all there is to it.
Yeah, that's what is there. Yeah. I wish that they played. I know that they were in the middle of their touring cycle. I wish they played, believe it or not, more tracks from this album. They only played, I think, 3. No, 4, I think.
They have a lot of music before this album though.
That is true. Yes. Well, that's what's weird too. They only played songs from Sleep Talk and Dark Sun. Like that was it. And I'm pretty sure they've come out with more albums than that. So it's literally just those
Yeah,
two.
but as an artist, like I'm gonna quote the infamous Noah Sebastian
The
here.
infamous. He's not that infamous.
Okay, I'm gonna quote Noah either way.
Famous.
He said it perfectly, honestly. If you're not enjoying yourself on stage, how do you expect other people to enjoy it? Like I straight up am a snob about it. I will rarely cover or sing something I don't like because it doesn't come out very good because I'm not enjoying it. Like I can put as much fake smiling on it as I want and I can sing the notes perfectly if I wanted to. But if I'm not having fun, no one else is going to be having fun. Now, if I go sing a song I'm having more fun with and miss a few notes and like have the audience sing, everyone has a better time. So again, Noah nailed it on that.
It's
like
true.
They played what, one song from their first album? They played Glass Houses.
Yes.
Or did they do 2? I think they only played Glass House or Glass Houses.
You might be right. Yeah, you might be right about that.
Because he said they don't like that music. That's not their sound anymore.
Yeah.
And Dayseeker's changed members too. Like it's one thing for Bad Omens, who's never changed members. I mean, they've lost one, but like they have like the same consistent members for all 3 albums. And so like to have their sound change and evolve is cool. But like Dayseeker has like, you know, which a lot of bands have swapped out
lineup changes,
members and live changes. And so like, you know, if they have a different sound and that's what they want to play, and plus they were opening, so they only had like what, 10 songs?
Yeah, like 8 or 9, 8 to 10 maybe. Yeah,
I think it was only 8 or 9 songs. I have a playlist that's all their music from that set.
Yeah, it's what was it? I do like that they did it from the last 2 albums though, because I actually haven't heard anything before Sleep Talk, and I think that's when they actually like started to hit some type of stride. So it's pretty good that they did the last 2 albums. Honestly, if they did this album in full, and We Came as Romans is actually doing the same thing. If they did this album in full and like did a show of just playing this album, I would definitely go see it for sure. It's like, what else? Let's see. Did you say something? You cut out a little bit. Maybe.
Nope, your internet was bad, so I stopped.
Oh, my internet was bad. Okay, of course it is. All right. We love internet connections.
It's because we're on that backwoods Wi-Fi.
That backwoods Wi-Fi. It is true. We're literally both backwoods. I'm not even in like a populated area either. It's just backwoods Wi-Fi.
No, we just got the deer and the loons out back.
The deer and the loons are singing swan songs with us. They
are. I can talk to the loons on my back porch because there's a lake out back, and if I can like make a little loon call with my hands, and they'll talk back.
Oh my gosh! Can you actually? Can you actually make a loon call? Yeah. That's funny. I don't have any special tricks like that. I wish I did, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do it right now. Actually, hold on. I haven't done it in a while.
Oh. That's
so
pretty good.
Usually I can get it a lot louder and it'll like carry it across the lake. and then you'll hear them because they communicate more.
That's fine.
Usually I would do a lot better, but
I can do the girl trick, which is the
Do it, 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 do it.
oh god.
stupid. Sometimes people love it though.
Anyways.
So yeah, was that your first time seeing Dayseeker, or have you seen them more times than that?
Seeing who?
Dayseeker.
Yeah, that was my first time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I really like that they're, and we can transition to this. They did just get off the Concrete Jungle tour, tour of the Concrete Jungle, and got a lot of. It's so weird because like, I feel like Dayseeker and Bad Omens are the same yet very different bands in a sense. Like Bad Omens are very moody and kind of darker, but so are Dayseeker in a sense. I feel like, oh, she went out for a second. 1 second. She's back. There we go.
We did. That's okay.
That's okay. But Dayseeker and Bad Omens are kind of similar sounding, and they kind of have the same vibe, like with kind of cool sounding sonic landscapes, but with like darker lyrics in a sense. I feel like Bad Omens is a little bit more like on the moodier side. And Dayseeker are like brighter sounding but darker lyrics, I guess you could say.
They definitely put like the core in metalcore,
Yeah.
honestly. Like they're very, you can tell it's metal. It's very influenced by metal. Dayseeker's new album, less. You can tell the metal influence is still there though, for sure. And with Bad Omens, they always have the metal sound. So like they really do, like, I mean, Bring Me the Horizon kind of started this trend with Sempiternal, bringing Jordan on to help produce that. And it, like, that's what I say. I'm like, it puts the core in metalcore. Like that is like they, you know, that's what the core is there for. Like, so the elitist can say like, oh, it's not heavy, it's not real metal, but it is technically metal. It's just they use electronic sounds with it, which I love. That's my favorite genre, honestly. I think it's so cool.
I do too, yeah. I hate when elitists are saying that it can't have like electronic elements these days. I think it's super annoying, especially considering, one, you're literally possibly getting other people into the genre that way. Like you have the potential, and it's the same deal with Bring the Horizon. You literally have the potential to get kids who maybe are more into the pop genre or into like R&B or other styles of music or rap, and like to get them into metal and everything, and then you just have metal elitists like gatekeeping. I can't stand music gatekeepers or music elitists. I cannot stand them.
Yeah, me neither, honestly. And I don't like being an artist in the entertainment industry. Like a lot of people push you to, you need to make your song this way and you need to make your album this way so you can line yourself up for these awards and for these kind of audiences. And I feel like Rory with this album, and we keep talking about Bad Omens, and I'm going to use them as an example too, with The Death of Peace of Mind, and then Dayseeker with Dark Sun, just kind of like threw that in the trash. And they just like, they made songs, and whether it came out metalcore or soft rock or some kind of synthy sad song, or like Noah put like 2 or 3 R&B sounding songs on there. What is it? Bad Decisions is like very R&B. So it's like, and they threw it on the album anyways, and it's like, I love that. I really do, because I've always never really fit in one little niche, and so it's nice to see other artists, like bigger artists, do that, kind of like throw that out the window and just like what they want. I mean, other bands have done it too, like Bring Me the Horizon and Linkin Park really like pioneered that for us, honestly.
For sure. Yeah. And I feel like it honestly doesn't even make a whole lot of sense to, not that it doesn't make sense, but like sticking with one genre can sometimes just put you into a bubble. Like the fact that they're like actually willing to make risks and like take chances and everything says a lot. And it's paying off. So that being said, they are going on tour with Silverstein on Misery Made Me Part 3-ish tour. They've been on like 6 other Misery Made Me tours. I was gonna go see the one where Holding Absence and Amity Affliction played with them, but didn't get the chance to. I tried to, didn't get a chance to though. But that's gonna be fun to watch. The closest to us is Connecticut, unfortunately, but
yeah, I think I saw that, right? They're going to like Hartford or something.
yeah, they're going to Hartford, which it's on a Saturday, I think, so it's not like out of the realm of possibility for me.
I have some hookups, like my drummer's in Connecticut, and I have some people in Rhode Island, so I could get closer to my mic. I could go down and just stay with my people.
That is true, yeah.
You want to go?
I get discounted hotel rates, so I might possibly inquire about doing it. We'll see.
I'll just sleep on someone's couch, honestly.
Yeah. Get used to the touring life right now.
Yeah, I'm just going to start. I'm going to sleep on my drummer's basement floor next to his drum set. Be like, hey, you want to go see Silverstein?
No kidding. So, yeah. Anyways, that being said, go check out Dayseeker Dark Sun. Awesome album. Go check it out. Really good. Emily N., thank you very much for being on the podcast end of things. Twitch users, we are going to keep streaming for a little bit. I think we're going to grind some Fortnite after this. I think we're going to grind some Fortnite. I was going to download Rocket League.
And I'm going to join.
Yes, you are. I was going to download some Rocket League, but it's like not loading at all. It's going to take some time. But thank you folks on the podcast end for joining us. We're going to get some stuff set up for gaming. But if you are reaching the end of the podcast episode, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you listening. Be good to yourself along the way. And Twitch users, we're going to get set up for some Fortnite. We'll be right back.
Bye.